The 7 mistakes, ignore 7. I don't know how many we're going to come up with. Beginners make looking for a 55 plus community. But it was obviously AI or something. J. Michael wouldn't have thought of that. No offense to him. Are we on?
Bro.
All right. Hello, Explore. We're with Claire today, and Justin's filming us. And there's a nice
thunder,
little
I know.
afternoon thunder boomer. The 7 mistakes, ignore 7. I don't know how many we're going to come up with. Beginners make looking for a 55 plus community. And one might be even not, if you're not familiar with Florida, not coming in July and seeing what it's about.
I mean, I would agree, because the humidity here is like the issue. But I say to people, you're generally in and out of the AC, you're near a beach, you're near water, near a pool.
And some of us like the moisture, and that is the truth, because I went to Las Vegas and Phoenix, and they were like 115 degrees, but it was a dry heat. I looked 10 years older instantly. I know, right? Yeah, the moisture does fluff up your skin.
It's meant to be good for your joints too.
Exactly. Plus you get climatized to it, and plus it never gets to 0 degrees ever. Never snows. So you might get a little hot in July and August and go, okay, turn it down a notch, but that's a breeze.
So what's the mistake?
Well, not
coming and checking it out first, because it is a bit of a shocker. Like if you come here, like winter months are just
perfect.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you don't got to test the winter months.
No, it's the summer months. So if you're not planning on being a snowbird and you're planning on living here full time, it's really important just to come down, check out like July and August for heat wise, just to make sure it works for you.
Just to make sure it works. And it does include then touring the area. And so the biggest mistake, and we say it in all our videos, you have to know your stomping grounds. You've got to look. It's not about the house. It's about the area and then the communities.
Which again could potentially be a mistake, that you concentrate on the house before you concentrate on the area that you want to be in, or the community that you want to be in. Because each community, I mean, if you do a list, you probably find that nearly every community's got like something almost identical, all have a pool, all have a billiards room, but they all have such a different feel. Like they feature something different, and each feel as you go into the community is totally different.
That's right. So we feel like that's almost the biggest mistake, is just starting with looking at homes in your price range. Start in a general area and get to know the area first, then the communities in the budget that you can afford, because there's different levels of communities. These newer ones have a higher price tag than some of the ones that have been established for 20 years now.
So there was a couple that I had who actually bought in the Summerfield area, right on the edge of the villages. Mm-hmm. And their intention was they wanted to be close to the villages, but not too close. Well, they ended up, because we checked out the communities and they knew that they wanted to be close to the villages. But in reality, I guess they didn't spend enough time around that area, and the traffic, they said, was just too much for them. So in order for them to appreciate the villages, they found getting from where they are over to the villages was too much. So they then had to sell and move on to a different area that was more suited for them.
Just moving, and it's like the last thing you want to do after you move is
pack up
and move again.
Oh my gosh, and it's so stressful moving anyway. It's one of the top 5. And you certainly don't want to do it twice if you can avoid it. We stress the whole get your agent. You need an agent that knows the areas, the communities, and what's involved. Some people haven't ever lived in an HOA before. And so then you need to know, you have to understand.
And that was a shocker for me moving over here, actually, because the UK doesn't have HOAs. So when I moved over here, I was like, what? They can tell me when to cut my yard. They could tell me when to paint my house. Like, for me, it was like alien that you have a board and a HOA that tells you these things.
Right. And then, whoa, hey, good one. Did you hear that, Explore? That was cool. We haven't had a storm in a
I
long
want to see the
time.
lightning
Yeah.
across the lake. It'd be
Yeah.
beautiful.
Some communities, then because of their HOAs, excuse me, are stricter than others. So a community that includes painting the house, doing the yard, all of these things is much higher, saves you a lot of money doing it all yourself,
And the hassle.
but they're stricter. And then there's HOAs that are a little less restrictive and a little bit more free for those that want the personality. So again, a mistake might be not understanding all those fees and then the different communities.
And not understanding each of the communities' like rules and how flexible they can be. Because there are some which are stricter than others. And it's getting to know those communities. And an agent should be able to say to you, yeah, you know, if this is something you desperately wanted, was a pink flamingo in the front yard, I could tell you several communities that would say, that's a no-no, and several that would be like, you'd probably get away with it.
Exactly. Claire, you made a great statement because this is on this list too of mistakes. People don't make a list of what they see in their immediate lifestyle and maybe the coming years. So you should know what your lifestyle, what you want it to look like now and in 10 years, and then have your agent help you find those communities that have those things. Some people like smaller communities that are more boutique, don't have a lot going on, they have a lot more privacy and they don't feel like they need to be involved. And larger communities have a lot going on and a lot of activities. So another mistake folks tend to do is they get all caught up in the bells and whistles of a really fancy community.
It is hard not to, though.
It's hard not to.
When
I
you go into
know.
some of them and you're like,
Oh,
it's like a resort living.
It's true. Some of them are exactly like resort living.
But that's the thing, you don't want to live your life in a resort. You want a sense of community, and there are some more established communities that have been around that have that sense of community also. So it's not just about the amenities.
Visit one with extravagant amenities, then visit one with like medium size and then small. And then maybe you realize you go see the small one and think, oh, this is just fine for me. I didn't need all that extra amenities, which also means probably a higher HOA some of the time.
Well, and they do update them. I mean, Royal Highlands, as an example, have done a beautiful job of updating. So it really, and I think this all really boils down to you guys putting together a good list of what's important to you.
And that, I mean, that's where I think the key starts, is to put a list of not just what's important for a house, but what's important in a community, what's important about
And in your
location.
area.
You know, what's around you? Are you wanting to be so that you have everything on your doorstep, or are you okay to do 20 minutes to get to the big stores?
Is your family going to visit and needs air transportation? So Orlando versus maybe Ocala, which might be a little bit more difficult to get to.
So I think it's like really important to almost start at the beginning and work down from what's important for area, what's important in a community, what's important for a home, and then try and like wrap that all up with a budget.
So which brings us to another big mistake. And I know you guys think maybe you're starting too soon sometimes, but we can help manage that. You don't want to rush into this decision. You don't want to take and I'm sorry, J. Michael always says you pick on the villages. I'm not picking on them. There's a hat for every head. Some people love the villages. Make comments if you love the villages. But some people get there, they get caught up in the hoopla and buy a house because it's just, but they haven't done the research. Then they get here and they go, wait a minute, look at all those other opportunities down in Claremont or up in Ocala, less expensive, less traffic, or whatever that might suit their personality a little bit better. So don't be in a rush. Start the process early. Coming down, it's not too early, taking some time and hanging out. And I know we brought up come in the heat of the summer. Come and visit us for a couple of weeks in the summer and then just take a look around the area. That's super important.
Another important one when you're writing that list of what you're looking for is questions are going to pop up that you're like, oh, can I do this? Or does the community allow this? Or, etc. Dogs, animals, whatever it may be. There is no question that, you should think of that's silly, because if it's something that's important to you, you need to find out those answers.
So we've kind of had a conversation on things you should avoid. So let's just go ahead and recap simply what steps you should take.
So, number 1, write your list of what you want, what you're looking for, what you expect. 2, research the area, the rules and regs, websites. Remember the www. 3, connect with an agent, because you can ask all those questions if you found something you're not sure about or you can't find. You can ask those questions. 4, visit the area. Take time, especially in those summer months, to make sure it's the right temperature for you. 5, ask questions. Any question you can think of that would be that you need to know, just ask the question. It doesn't matter what it is. And then 5, start now. It's never too early.
Never too late. Never too early. It can be too late.
Never too late.
Never too early. Thank you, Explore, for visiting with us again. And if you'd like to get in touch with one of our agents and start these conversations and getting your list together, please give us a call, email, and you can find us at www.explore55plus.com. And we appreciate you very much.
Have a great day.
The www thing is like,
Okay.
that's a boomer.
My kids say it to me all the time, that www dot.
Don't need it?
Boomer.
Boomer. Yeah.
I ain't got no time to lose. I ain't got no time to lose. I ain't got no time to lose.